This is Quest of Life. We are a not for profit offering free online peer support groups, and this is a demonstration of a facilitated group. So keep in mind that your experience might not look and or feel the same as this streaming group. Not every group can be the same, as every facilitator is different, and so are the group dynamics. That said, if you'd like to join a support group, you can join us through questoflife.org. And if you want to support us monetarily so we can run more free groups for more people, please also do that via our website, questoflife.org.
So, how's everybody doing?
I can go first. I am a little bit sick. I'm trying to be sick, but then I keep taking vitamin C and I feel better. But then I get more sick and then I get better and I'm sick. It's just a roller coaster. I'm nervous. Yeah, this last week was my vacation. I was traveling, so my brain is, still thinking about that. And also from last week's session, didn't go very well, so that's been on my mind. But then I just heard that apparently nobody remembers. Makes me feel a little better. Yep. I got a topic for today, which is I noticed that I subconsciously try to optimize everything, including like relaxing. So I don't want to do that because I wanted to start doing more consistent writing. And that what used to work for me was to take like a 5 minute every day. And if it goes longer, it goes longer. If not, that's just for 5 minutes. But now, whenever I think about the 5 minute, I think about how to write the most out of my 5 minutes, which I'd end up not writing. Pass to Pam.
Thank you. Um, hmm. Yeah, I think I am. Hmm. I guess I'm feeling uncertain, but I don't know where the feeling is coming from. Um, I just sense that like, I tend to avoid uncertainty. So that's what comes to mind right now is that maybe why I like go blank because I don't want to deal with the uncertainty, but I am just putting it out there so it's like not being pushed back in my mind. Um, I will say I am on semi-neutral ground, meaning that I was really stressed out last week and tired, but now I'm not as tired and not as stressed out, but it's still low key there. Um, I guess I am also feeling a little emotional, guess hiccup from last time because I didn't think it went too well either. Um, but also accepting that sessions like are not perfect every time. Um, and I I trust that like we want each other the best in this group, so even though I maybe did not feel like even though I feel like I could have done better last time, it's something within me and not necessarily something for the entire group. Hmm. And for my topic, I want to go into, like, I have noticed that I can sometimes be really insecure in relationships. I have a hard time trusting that the bonds I have with people are as reliable or strong as I would wish them to be. Like, I fear that I can break bonds in relationship with the snap of my fingers, even though they might not be that way. Um, so my topic would be, yeah, relationship between people around me, and how I see them, and maybe get some perspectives on that. Um, yeah, I will send it to Tom.
Um, I'm also kind of sick, and it's been on and off, similar to Anne, for the last few days, where I always feel like, okay, I'm gonna feel terrible tomorrow, and then like in the evening it's kind of bad, and then I wake up and it's kind of fine. But so like overall, I feel very tired and a little bit out of it, but other than that, pretty okay. I don't really remember last week, so to me it feels like it was fine. Um, and topic wise, so uni's now started, and I signed up for, they call it like freshers plays, where basically we get assigned a random team and we have to write, rehearse, and perform a 10-minute play in 2 weeks. So we're in the middle of that. And part of me loves it and is really excited about it. And whenever I'm working on it, it's really fun. But then when I'm not working on it, there's another part that's like, this is terrible. This will just be cringe and embarrassing, and like, I shouldn't have signed up for it in the first place. And it's really hard to feel both at once. Like, I either hate it and don't want to do it, and want to just kind of find an excuse to not have to, and at other times I'm really excited and I can't wait to do more after this is done as well. Yeah. Jake, would you like to do a check-in?
My week was awful. What else should I include? I have noticed over the last couple of days my typical mask is not active, so I probably won't be nearly as animated as I usually am. What else? I'm also tired because for some reason my body woke me up 2 hours early. So I'm not sick though, which is good. That's my check-in. I also am feeling what is that? I think it's actually anxiety. I'm feeling anxious about bringing up last session because it doesn't feel like bringing it up would get resolved, or like, yeah, I guess I'm worried because I would like to hear how people are feeling about it and like, what do y'all think happened? But I also understand it was a week ago and y'all might not remember. Yeah, that's my check-in. I'll say one thing and then I'll pivot to the thing I just said. So, first is for chat, YouTube, whoever. We did talk after the session because in the session itself, how do I word that? Yeah, we had the session, and then afterwards, people shared like, "Hey, I was dissatisfied with the session," and we essentially talked for like another hour and a half about like what was up with that. We supported Tom some more, and specifically his like a part of him that's really hopeless. Yeah, so that's essentially what happened. Yeah, so I wanted to check in if anyone wants to talk about how they felt about last session, or if you just want to like avoid it, which is perfectly fine. People are allowed to avoid things. But if you want to avoid it, we could just like jump into topics. We can do that too. So what do you guys want to do?
I'm happy to. I'm just like in that I don't really remember it much space, so I probably won't have a lot to say.
I feel like what Jake said about it not might not be resolved. So it's just sharing how I feel, but it wouldn't be, amount to anything.
Does that mean you don't want to share?
I don't know what the purpose of sharing would be.
I would like to just share and then accept that's what we shared and then move on from there. Like, yeah. To me, that would give a sense of like, okay, then we acknowledge that and then just voiced our experience and then accept that and then move forward instead of just, or in my perspective, instead of not addressing anything about it.
The way you brought it up to me, it sounds like maybe you would kind of like to share, but it doesn't feel like you have a good enough reason to do so if it doesn't get resolved. I don't know if that actually resonates.
It was not the like.
Oh,
It's
I meant
not what I meant to say. Oh, okay.
I
Yes.
meant like the way Anne shared.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, for me, I think my perspective from last week's session was that uh, we didn't have enough intention in how we conducted the session, like how we engaged with the conversation, which I mean was nice that like we got to share things, but it was not good in terms of support. And so now this feels like that, where if I'm just sharing, it's great that I'm sharing, but it doesn't do anything for the support group.
Yeah, I think that puts it into word. Like it makes my emotions feel like, yeah, I think that's the feeling I'm feeling. So that's like enough for me to just have acknowledged that. Like I think it's for me also is the feeling guess I would call it feeling bad about myself for not having been more intentional as described, like it was more sharing for just sharing and there's nothing bad in it, but I guess I have an expectation for myself to be more intentional in supporting than I did last time.
To me, this actually sounds like a really useful topic for the group because I'm worried that if we don't talk about it, we might end up like going away from this with an expectation of like there's a level of support that needs to be there that needs to be good enough. Like it feels like a lot of pressure. So if there's like an unspoken agreement that like just sharing isn't good enough, or like then we start having arbitrary rules that we didn't really talk about or agree to, but now kind of are trying to live up to.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that it is nice that you brought it to attention and put it into words, and hearing it from you, I think for me, it's just by putting it into words, it's like I can rest assured that there is no like baseline for the support that's needed. And because I didn't hear anything from you about, oh, something else should have happened, I am feeling like acceptance of the situation. Like it was what it was, and that's just how it was.
Speaking of, Tom, do you have any feedback for us
So I'm kind
when
of
we support you?
uh, I'm kind of confused because I feel better about the session last week than either of you. Like, to me, it
Yeah.
feels like it was fine. Probably like not the best session I've had, or like I didn't necessarily feel super supported, but like it wasn't bad. It sort of seems like both of you are kind of beating yourselves up about it some, where I sort of get the sense that to me it felt okay. So it feels like we're kind of not on the same page in some way, or like I'm kind of wondering where is that pressure coming from, or that assessment of it.
I'm thinking of what along the lines of what Pam said about like my own expectation of myself in a support group, which is fine. I think it's okay that we, or at least for me, to like feel bad about it because I didn't meet my own expectations. I don't think for us to be on the same page, we all have to feel okay because you felt okay.
So are you guys feeling ashamed? Or guilty? Or like regret, remorse?
It would be guilt for me.
Okay.
I'll have to think about it.
Cool.
I would say for me, it's a string of emotions. It's like fear for being a failure, and then like knocking myself down for not living up to expectations, and then down to shame for not uh, for not being the person that I want to be. But just yeah.
Before okay. I had to make sure I wrote it down in case I forgot. Um Before I just like pivot to this, did anyone feel really compelled about any of the topics you guys brought up? Like, are you like, I really want to, like Tom, like, do you really want to get to the play thing? Or if you do, what it would be is like, we'll like split the session kind of. Like, we'll talk about this and then we'll pivot to yours like halfway through.
For my topic, like not compelled towards mine necessarily. It's like it's a general topic, so for me it's like you can it's not pressing or like time sensitive.
I liked all three topics. Tom's feel feels maybe more urgent. Mine, I personally, I feel like it's going to be quick because I kind of see what the conversation would look like.
I think mine's like pressing time wise, but also like I think I can handle the situation, so it doesn't feel like I really need help with this. Like it would be nice to talk about, but it's not particularly like pressing.
Cool. So that sounds like we'll focus on this, and then if there's time, we'll pivot. Cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Tell me about letting yourselves down. Not meeting your own expectations.
That's actually very closely related to my topic as well.
Who's this question for?
All of us.
Whoever wants to answer it. Because it seems like that was kind of, well, it it seems like for Tom, I guess it's for Anne and Pam, because for Tom, he felt like the session. It sounds like he was dissatisfied, but it wasn't like that big of a deal for him. Like it was an okay session regardless. Um, so he didn't feel like he was letting himself down. But with his topic, it sounds like it's triggering that. But for you guys, it seems like that was a big part of like why last session didn't feel well. Didn't feel good. Could be wrong about that last part though. There could be other reasons why you felt it didn't go well.
Yeah, I'll go first then. For me, I guess we'll tell you about it. My sentence is I know I could have been more intentional with how I participated, and I didn't. I made that choice. Um, I can't say I regret it in terms of like I know I can't go back in time. I also don't know if I could go back in time and I would be more intentional that the result would be different.
Would you guys like this to be kind of like everyone sharing their feelings and like a more of a cohesive conversation or balanced conversation, or do you want to dig more into like what people are saying?
I vote for the first option.
Yeah, we'll move more towards that. How about Tom?
I would be more interested in the second, but it feels like you two should get to choose, since it's more about your feelings than mine. Either way, it's two against
Pam,
one.
do you?
Okay, then I can share for me how it is to letting myself down or how I feel about it. I think for me, there's some shame attached to it. Like, I guess I value people standing up for themselves and like being authentic. And when I let myself down, it seems like I'm pushing myself away. And that feels uncomfortable. Um, it's like I don't really know how to like approach this topic. I just knew that when Jake asked the question, it's like, oh, for me it hits something, but I don't know what. Oh, yeah. So that's why I thought it was interesting to talk about it and hear everybody else's experience with it. Because I'm definitely feeling something, but it's so fluffy and like undefined for me that it's hard to put into words.
So, with Anne, I'm curious. So you said you made like a conscious decision, and then like essentially the result wasn't good. So I'm curious about that. And for Pam, it sounds like you feel like you kind of betrayed yourself a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. It I guess it feels like it. Yeah. But it's because at the same time it feels like it, but I'm logically aware of that might not be the case. It's like it's hard for me to pinpoint. It's like it's like the feeling I have from what I perceive from the situation, but I'm not sure if my perception is correct.
And did you have any thoughts on the making a choice and then the result is bad, which causes guilt?
Yeah, I think guilt is attached to something else. Um,
Okay.
I felt guilt towards not being a supportive enough friend, which I
Hmm.
wanted to be. Yeah. But logically, how a session goes, it's not like the worst session I've had either. And it made sense, like with the in my mind, with the choices I made during the 90 minutes. That's the result. And I'm like, what's, yeah.
Tom, if you have any questions or anything, let me know. I think it'd be interesting for like us to coach them. That'd be
Okay,
funny.
I'll try to switch into that gear.
Um,
I wasn't. Yeah.
you don't have to, but um, what was I gonna say? Oh, it was good. Damn it. I'll need a minute. I lost it.
I have
It
an
was
idea.
good. Damn it.
Or do you want to pause and
No, go for it.
okay?
Just go for it.
I mean, like the first thing that comes to mind that I'd be really curious about is understanding more about like what does it mean to you to be a supportive friend? Like how supportive is supportive enough, or and also why is it important to you?
This is very surface level, but um, we run support groups. We're supposed to know how to do this. And like, yeah, as we're friends through doing this, if anyone could support you at all, I feel like that should be me. And if I can't even do that, then what hope is there for you?
So I think those are great questions. I'll toss those back to you, Anne.
I don't recall. I asked questions.
You said like one of them was like what what hope is there for you? Like that is a question. Like if I can't do this, like what hope that is there for you?
Yeah.
I guess an easier way to word it is just like how do you feel about that? What you said.
Hopeless? Yeah. That feels very much like defeating the purpose of what we're doing.
How so?
Like,
Oh.
as in, we're facilitating support groups, and we can't support you. What is this?
Sounds like a lot of pressure.
Interesting. Yeah.
I don't know whether
Well,
I should try to
I'll
stick to like trying to be more like in coaching mode or react.
do whatever feels authentic.
I think I'd like to know which one Anne prefers.
Uh, I would say, since you're a participant, to prioritize that reaction
Okay.
before coaching.
Well, I feel like I'm a really hard person to support.
Yeah. I want to disagree with that.
That's kind of why I feel like it's a lot of responsibility, and like that's a. I feel like I'm a tricky baseline to set.
Yeah, it feels very unfair to you with that statement.
I have like thoughts, but I see things like direction spawning, and I'm like, should I just like allow this to go? I also want to check in with Pam, and I'm like, what do I do? So like I'll just share the direction that I'm confused about, and it's just like, what do you guys mean by support? Because like we did support Tom, like it that was support, but I don't know if what you guys mean by support is necessarily like what I'm thinking. Or I guess you tried to support him. I don't know, but
And what are you thinking?
I'm trying to think about what support means, like with Jake's question. And my first thought was for me, support is, or like in that situation, support was the definition of support for me in that situation was that Tom felt supported. And what I understood from the feedback is that Tom did not feel supported. And then I started to think about that situation. Like, yeah, because I also know that feelings are feelings and we can't control each other's feelings. So I'm questioning myself if I'm like trying to control Tom's feelings. How about you, Anne?
Same. Yeah, as what you shared.
And then it makes me curious, what is Tom's definition of support? Or how is it when you hear my definition? Like, whatever space that makes sense for you to respond to.
So I think if I'm the person supporting, then I would feel the same way. Like, yeah, I'd like the other person to feel supported, and that kind of determines whether I feel like that determines how well it's going. But then being on the other side, I feel like you can sort of like say all the right things on paper, and they might still just like bounce off when I hear them. So I also feel like actually maybe that's not on you.
It makes me really curious, and this is I'm not like a really tricky question because I'm hearing that you are able right now to see it from both sides because you have been in a situation and you can at the same time empathize with us being like you would see support the same way. So for you to be in this like space where both sides are visible, what is your like how is it to be in the middle?
Um, I mean, it feels like a double standard where it feels like actually, no matter which side I'm on, it's always my fault if it doesn't work out.
How?
So, like, if you're supporting me and I don't feel supported, unless, like, you're, saying invalidating stuff, or, like, if you're relating, for example, or validating my feelings, and then if I just, like, dismiss those, that feels like that's on me. Like, you can't make me feel supported. I have to somehow do something with the things you say.
Okay. What's the other side?
Oh,
Or is it applies to both?
the other side is basically what you shared. Like, if I'm supporting someone, I measure how well it went by how supported they felt. Like, was I able to adapt enough to whatever they needed?
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for Tom. Okay, this is a question I would ask if like a member said I didn't feel supported and then keep coming back. Do you Yeah, like I wonder what's your experience like being in support groups? Is it generally supportive? That's why you're here? Or
There's a chance, I guess, or you mean like if I'm why am I here as a member, right? Or
yeah.
yeah. Um like even last week it wasn't bad. Last week I would say for me it was kind of neutral. I think if I walked away week after week feeling like I'm worse off, then I wouldn't show up. And also I feel like part of it is on me to learn how to actually let people support me. It's not that like you need to find a way to make what you say resonate or land. It's like yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's something for me to figure out.
Yeah. I resonate with it because I'm also sometimes struggling with wanting support and people trying to support all they can, and I still don't feel supported. 2 seconds. So yeah, I resonate with that. Like, it seems like there is a space where a skill is missing, but I don't know what the skill is yet. Yeah. Is that how it feels to you as well?
Like a skill is missing on your side or theirs?
I guess I'm at the point where I don't know if it's on their or my side, but I like accept that there are like two people in a connection or like a social situation, so maybe something like maybe I need to do something also. Like
Mm-hmm.
so I just know that in this like in a situation where I want support and I don't feel supported, something is missing. But I
Mm-hmm.
haven't like attached a responsibility necessary to either part. I just
Mm-hmm.
know something or like a skill or something is missing in this situation.
Yeah. So it sounds like it could be either, could be both.
Yeah, yeah. But like it could be both, but it feels more like, as you pointed out, something like I need to open up for the support, but I'm at the same time afraid to do it. And therefore I'm like stuck in then what?
It's so weird because when I hear you talking, I feel like, well, no, like if I'm supporting you, it's on me to like ask for permission and like to kind of create a space that feels safe if I'm trying to support you. But it's not how it feels if I think about myself.
Describe more in detail the difference.
Um, I guess so. Say if we're talking about your topic and you share something, to me it feels like actually like you showing up and sharing whatever you feel comfortable sharing is enough. And then it's kind of on me or on us to ideally like create a space where you feel like sharing more, or where like it feels like you're getting something out of the conversation, like where the space feels okay, and that feels like my responsibility.
Like, if I don't feel safe in the situation, it's 100% the support person's responsibility.
Maybe not 100, but there's some element of like I need to like know what's going wrong or what to do differently, or like if something's not working that I'm doing, I need to know. But
What?
um but it feels like more of it is on me than on the person sharing.
Mm. I'm not sure how to respond to it, but it's interesting to hear.
It's like if I'm running a group, I feel like it's on me to run the group. Like I shouldn't expect group members to teach me how to facilitate. And like sure, if something's not working for them, if they bring it up, great, because then we can do something about it. Yeah.
I think the dynamic is interesting because it's like it seems like there is I don't know what it's called, but like it's like the only way I can describe it is like it sounds like the premise is flawed, but I don't know what the premise is.
How is it for you?
How is what for me?
Um, this sort of like where you feel the responsibility if you're supporting someone or running a group.
Hmm. I would say for me, the feeling and the thoughts are the same, but it comes to an extent where I'm like, I can't do more. Like, like the saying that you can pull the horse to the tray, but you can't make them drink. It's like something there. Like, I guess it's hard to see where that, like, where it crosses from how much can I support to when am I trying to force the horse to drink. And I can't see the difference. Or like it's hard to distinguish.
Like it's hard to know if you've done enough yet.
Yes, it's hard to see when have I helped the horse to the tray, and when have I done enough, and does the horse want to drink, or is it refusing something that would help itself? But I still can't force it.
I feel like that captures last week's session.
And I would say what I'm looking for is from both sides, like from the supportive side, when have I helped enough? And for the, if I'm the horse, when am I afraid to drink the water? And that is a space I'm uncertain about. And where I'm saying that I think it's a skills issue, but I don't know where it lies. Any thoughts?
Yes. So I've tried to actually been trying to answer this question: how to support someone in situations like this. Because Tom, you're not the only one that I've tried to support and failed. So it's like a case for me to find out. And from your conversation just now, I think it just made sense to me that in so for last session specifically, me in this group, there's a line between like me being authentic as a member versus me as a support person. Very different. So when I was just a member, I think that's what happened last week is I would just say whatever was on my mind, and it was just so when you mentioned something about I think there was a point where were trying to figure out where you wanted the conversation to go, and you said you don't know. Um, the non-support version of me is triggered to find you that direction to solve that problem instead of supporting you and like, oh, so you want to talk more about that instead of let's find a solution for that. So that's where it could have gone differently.
Yeah, that resonates with me too.
Jake, any thoughts?
Give me a second. Let me formulate the thing I just thought of. Yes. I'll just lead with the most recent one. You guys try a lot. Like you put in a lot of effort, and it feels. What do I feel? Maybe a sense of like melancholy. I don't know. But I feel really sad when you guys try a lot, and the time where you guys like step off the gas pedal and you don't like you kind of just show up, it has a bad outcome, and that reinforces that you have to go above and beyond with everything. Yeah, I just feel pretty sad about that.
I was thinking as you were saying that before, like you said the final bit that like, well, yeah, because if I don't try, then like things go up in flames.
Yeah. Yeah, and to me that speaks to how tired you must be. Because if you stop trying, everything combusts.
And then it takes even more effort to fix it.
Yeah. Then you have to put yourself in the cage. Like we can't be ourselves. We have to fix this problem again.
Anne and Pam, I'm curious if either of you resonate with this as well.
Yeah, I resonate a lot. I am sitting in the sadness and just acknowledging that it was put into words.
I think I just noticed I don't feel much today. Whatever I hear, I resonate as in like that makes sense to me. That's what the situation is, and I accept it.
What other option is there? Because it doesn't feel like a choice to me.
I think the other option is you can just blow shit up. And that's you live that life, a blown up life. Feels like a trade off, whatever strategy we use.
That sounds even worse.
I would say for me, like, it's easier said than done. But I have realized that I have a hard time, like, letting things slip. I want to carry everything. Because that, like, if I don't do anything, it all falls apart. And I had a day where I was sitting really overwhelmed and was like, oh my God, I have to do everything. If I don't do this, if I don't do that, it would all fall apart. And just like it just hit me in that overwhelm that hey, why am I carrying all this stuff on my shoulders? What if I decided to let some of this go? Do I really have to carry all of this? And because I'm also hearing people say, "Oh, that sounds like a lot. That sounds harsh to carry, or that sounds like a big burden." And it does feels like a big burden. It's a lot of things to carry. Um, and in that like situation, I also thought about, do I really have to carry all of this? And acknowledge that I can't carry everything, so I have to prioritize. I have to choose what do I want to carry and accept that I can't carry everything. So for me, it like I try to think about, okay, what means a lot to me, and then take that first and say, okay, I really want to eat healthy, for example. Um, then if I prioritize this, how would that look like? And then I just like in that brief moment, I realized that okay, then I don't have to carry around the responsibility of, for example, um, I don't have to live a perfect, healthy life every day. If I want to live healthy, I can do that by having some basic recipes, and I don't have to perfect every recipe for the optimal solution. So I can put that burden away and focus on the priority of eating a basic, nutritious meal. And just being able to tell myself that, it at least alleviated the burden in that situation. Like I imagined myself just allow myself to let things slip because not everything has to be carried. Questions or thoughts? I'm not sure if I put it enough into
Yeah.
words or got to uh yeah, articulate it well enough.
I appreciate you for sharing that because my brain was already going to solve the problem of so how do I want to move forward with these sessions? Do I want to be a better support person or be a member? And that's a great framework to follow to figure out what to prioritize.
Are the things that you really care about consistent? So, like, when you prioritize things, is it something that you sort of choose and then it stays that way, or is it something that's different every day? Or
It's a really great question because I would like them to be consistent, but they are not. And that's definitely also times where I will be overwhelmed, like if I need to go to the gym, but I also need to clean my room. It's like, what should I prioritize right now? And can I, like, if I'm in dire need of time, I'm like, do I train 30 minutes now, or do I clean my room for 30 minutes now? And then I have to accept, and that's where it gets hard, because then I have to accept I didn't train or I didn't clean my room, and I have to accept that I will let that slip today.
Mhm.
Unless I can also see, okay, then I'll do 5 minutes of each. Like, it's about finding the acceptance of what is realistic and what is a fantasy I hope to fulfill, but would never be possible.
Yes,
And
I'm
that's
hearing
why I
that.
say it's easier said than done. Yeah.
I'm hearing that there's like a practical um, question of like how to actually prioritize. Like, you only have so much time and energy, so do you go to the gym or clean your room or do a bit of both? And it sounds like that's not necessarily consistent. Like, one day you might pick one, another day you might pick the other. I also wonder how it feels though. So, like, if you decide that actually, like, maybe eating healthy is important to you or going to the gym is important to you, will you then have days where, like, it doesn't make sense? Like, why did I care about this in the first place? Where it's like, actually, this isn't important, and then the next day it's important again? Or is there, yeah, how is that in terms of consistency?
Mm, it's hard to describe because it depends on what kind of framework I decide to have. Because I am training to do it on different frameworks. Like, there is the day-to-day basis, and then there is the weekly basis, and then I'm moving to expand it to a monthly basis. So, for example, on one day, I have, because of my weekly goals, for example, training 3 times a week. If we say it's Sunday and I have only trained for 2 times a week, then it would be a higher prioritization to train that Sunday than it would be if it was a Monday. So that's how it can shift also due to which framework or goal I have higher up.
That still sounds more like the practical question, though. Like, I'm kind of wondering whether it ever
Okay.
flips into, like, I don't even care about going to the gym. Like, it's on my schedule. It should be a priority, but it doesn't feel like something important.
I'm not sure I understand the question, but I can say yes, I experienced those days where it's just like don't want to do anything, or it's like if I have a day where I feel apathy, nothing works because
Mm-hmm.
there are no emotions too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Tell
you
me
answered the
how I
question.
feel about things. Okay,
Thanks.
you're welcome.
It kind of sounds like sometimes it's a question of just like you've made a commitment before and you just need to trust that, or like trust the past version of you that that was the important thing.
Yeah, yeah. Well, like past experiences, if that's possible. Like knowing after the 10th, 100th times I didn't train, I'm like, I do feel not that good about myself if I don't train. So maybe I can remind myself that if I do train, I'm actually feel better afterwards, even though during the training and before the training, I don't want to. But that's definitely also a muscle to train. I'm not sure, but I think it's relevant, but I also feel like we kind of went off topic at the same time. I'm not sure where you guys would like to go from here, or we can backtrack to where we talked about. Yeah, before.
I was just going to check in with Anne. If you had any thoughts or emotions that were happening.
Nope. I was having ideas on how to solve my problems. Unrelated to this, but related in what you're talking about.
Want to share?
Yes.
Or want to dig into it?
I don't know if there's much to dig into, but yeah, this is my topic earlier about like optimizing for writing. And so now it's like, okay, I gotta go through what to optimize and what not to. So right now I decided I will optimize for the experience of writing, not quality or quantity, which usually is what I go for because they're like tangible. Yeah, it's a tangible benefit that I default to.
Nice. So on a side note, I'm hearing that you got an answer for your topic without us even trying.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
I was gonna say, I don't know how the session is going to feel for you both, but already it's a great session for me because I got something from it. Yeah.
Same here.
Jake
I'm
seems
curious.
conflicted.
Yeah.
I guess it
It's
looks
like-
into us not like that we need to have something out of it.
Yeah, like it reinforces like support is only effective if the person like if there's a result. Like there has to be like a result that comes from it. Like it like reinforces like I can't just yeah, it feels um I guess I feel sad for the you who's trapped. And I also recognize that someone say something I didn't.
You finished that thought.
Okay. I also recognize like it might not be the right time to let them out, and that also makes me sad.
I think it might be relevant for me in a different scenario. In this support group, the purpose is very clear to me that it's results focused. For me personally, even as a member or facilitator, especially as a facilitator. But yeah, like for other experiences, I know for some, I just want to have that experience. I don't expect a certain result. Like as long as it's happening, I'm happy.
I could see if you lean into that, you can actually become a pretty effective support person, but I think you will suffer a lot. Um, I could also see if you lean out of that and you kind of just like let it go or let things be as they are. Um, that could cause either you to be an amazing support or like actually pretty inefficient. So like both side, like you choosing both paths can actually lead to great support and bad support.
Agreed. I'm thinking being a support person feels less suffery when there are other people who are also sharing this responsibility, and it's not just me. So that means when I'm facilitating, I'm helping the members do that. we're here. I'm hoping that we're all doing that and doesn't fall on any one person.
But but in your system, it falls on you. Like you're like
I'm the last, yeah, like the last,
Bastion.
like, yeah. If all fails, I'm the last one, and then if I fail, then too bad.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's why I'm sad because it's like you're always
Mhm.
at fault. Like if there's a bad outcome, you're always at fault. And I think that feels similar to a lot of you guys.
Yeah, I don't quite feel that way to what was shared. I don't. I see it as half and half.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So
Cool.
I guess would frame it as I didn't fail. We failed. There you go.
I'm still confused by that. Like, why was it failure?
Because the goal was for you to feel supported, and that didn't happen. Yeah.
I have further questions, but I don't really know where to take this conversation because they would be further back. We also have like 17 minutes left, so I don't know what you guys would like to do.
Could you elaborate on what you said before about, like, the part that's trapped? I don't know what that means.
Whenever you obey the part of you that says I should, I have to, and this could be as small as like I have to brush my teeth, I have to go to work, I have to wake up, I have to go to sleep. Whenever you listen to that, there is a, well, this isn't, what word am I looking for here? This isn't always bad, but I think society teaches people to do that negatively. Like there's no console. Like you don't console the part of you that just got forced to do something. So I have to go to work. That if I like look at this as like a parent and a child, I have to go to work. I don't want to go to work. I feel things. That doesn't matter. We have to go to work. So it gets dismissed. The part of you that's trapped is the things that keep getting dismissed, the things that keep getting neglected, invalidated. Yeah, stuff like that.
What's the alternative? Other than, like, not going to work. Because, like, sometimes we kind of have to, no matter what.
How would you? So, do you have someone in your life that you love?
I guess.
Okay. What about like a younger sibling or like a younger cousin or anything like that that you're protective of?
My dog.
Assuming your dog knew how to understand language, how would you like communicate to them? Hey, we have to do this thing.
I would talk to him about, like, why he doesn't want to or why he's scared.
Is that it?
Well, I guess it depends on how that conversation goes. It's like when we don't want to talk, like, in groups, for example, if someone doesn't want, like, brings up a topic and then isn't sure if they want to talk about it, sometimes if we go meta, that in itself will make it feel okay to talk about it, where, like, they will just switch at some point from the meta conversation to the actual topic. Like, sometimes actually just asking seems to help.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think that's one way.
but if they're still like, I don't want to, I don't know what to do other than, especially if there's a deadline, other than just like, well, gotta do it.
Yeah. Yeah, so you'll result the force. Like, there's a point where you'll kind of just default to like, sucks to suck.
Well, yeah. Or I would be inclined to do it for them.
Yeah, but no one does it for you.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to word this differently, that part of you that's really like protective, it does do it for you. But regardless, to respond to Tom's question, think of a really supportive older sibling. So or like a really supportive parent. So, hey, you don't want to do this, and it's okay that you don't want to do this. We do still have to do it, and it's okay for you to feel sad, and I'm willing to support you now through it and afterwards. And I'm sorry we have to do this. Something like that.
You know, that feels almost worse, because it's like they can see that it sucks and they're gonna make me do it anyway. Then it's intentional.
Let me think of an example here. So actually, if I have a child, first I would say, cool, you don't have to do it. And then I would let them suffer the consequences of not doing it. And then I would check in, hey, how do you feel about the consequences? And then they would say blah, 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 blah. I'm like, cool, so next time, do you want me to force you to do it, or do you not want me to force you to do it? Like, this sounds weird, but you're allowed to like let people's lives fall apart. It's not your responsibility. But it also makes sense why this part of you is really protective of yourself, because you don't want your life to fall apart. But I think there should be some type of acknowledgement that you are suffering. And, like, come on, I can't even eat, like, some ice cream today? Like, you won't even let me do that? Like, try to give it some leeway. Don't just, like, keep it locked away.
It's hard because there's a part that doesn't care about consequences and just wants to do whatever feels good. And another part that sees the consequences and, like, really doesn't want those.
Yeah.
And there's not much
Resolving that conflict. That is what needs to happen. Resolving that conflict. But, Anne.
It's kind of along the lines of that.
Did you want to say more, or?
Nope.
What does resolving that conflict look like?
Sorry, my dad was talking. Hold on. What does resolving that conflict look like? So just to be forward, this is probably therapy level stuff. So I would check with like a therapist with doing any of this. When I think about doing this, it's about making each part feel heard and trying to like get to the roots of why these parts are acting this way and why they're like combating or conflicting like this. And then the you, which parts work is hard unless there's like a you, but like a core self. But yeah, ultimately you're trying to make the parts feel heard. You're trying to make them feel valid for like not wanting to like go to work today because we went to work for like the last 1,000 days and I'm kind of tired of this shit. Like trying to like feel that, and then like also the part of you who's like really anxious about your future and like wanting to protect you and like all that stuff. Ultimately, I think of it as like mediating a discussion. This kind of got off topic, but yeah. Any thoughts on any of that stuff?
will say I get it. And it is really a hard thing to distinguish. Like, it can come up so unconsciously that it's hard to find the distinction. But I get it. Like, yeah, like it's a complex thing to try out. For me, it's like I have a story where I think I managed to see the difference between forcing myself to do things and changing the mindset upon like forcing myself. I will share if you'd like to hear it, but I'm not sure if we have the time or it is the appropriate time to share.
The sessions don't have to hard end at the hour. If you guys like want to extend it, we can. I also understand like you guys are sick, so I don't know about that part, but yeah, I'm cool giving you guys more time. Or
Yeah.
but how do you guys feel, the sick ones? Because you guys were like,
I'm down to extend a bit, probably not super long, like half an hour max. Also, if we are extending by half an hour, though, I would need the bathroom. If it's like 10 minutes, then I'm good.
okay,
I can tell.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, go for it, Pam.
Okay, so for me, an example of that in experience is that all my life I was told I need to. I don't remember if I even told the story, so please say if I did. But all my life I was told that I need to train. I need to do some exercise, and that's just something I need to do because that's healthy. But I never understood why, so I was like exercising because I had to. It was always like I'll do it because I have to, and I was always forced to it, even though I didn't like it. And I like the rule in my head was just I need to exercise because that's just what my parents told I had to do, so I have to do it because if I obeyed it, I was forced to do it. Um, and then one summer, I I wanted to get into shape more, and like I had a reason to exercise, so I decided that I wanted to go for a run, and then I went out into the wild and went for a run. And I decided that I wanted to run for just this, like the sense of running. Like I wanted to run just because I wanted to run. It's nothing where I needed to do it because I had to or like I wanted to train. Like there was no inherent purpose except from I want to try and run. And from that day on, exercise shifted for me because it was no longer something I had to do. It was something I, at that point, had authority to choose myself. And then I could actually see the benefits of exercising instead of having to force myself to do it. So that's where it's for me shifted to something I have to do to something I can choose to do that's also benefiting me. And experiencing that, I did notice there's a difference from doing things because I have to and forcing myself to do it, and then like experiencing that when I chose it myself and I did the exact same thing but with a different mindset, like the forced way of doing it, experiencing that shift, experiencing that I had to do something for the sake of just doing it, melted away. So it made me aware of that feeling of having to do things. Yeah. So I guess if a reflective questions could be that have you ever experienced something where you didn't enjoy it, but then something shifted, and then maybe try to feel within oneself if what that feeling was before and after. Yeah,
I
that
have
was
pretty
just
much
my...
the same story with running, but for me, the reason was processing emotions. But other than that, I resonate a lot with what you said, what you shared.
Anything from you, Anne?
Don't think so. Can't
Cool.
find anything to relate to.
Sounds good. I'll say something, then we'll move to checkouts then. So I'll label what Tom and Pam are talking about as reclamation. So sometimes you'll hear like people talk about like reclaiming your voice, reclaiming power, but what you're talking about is like you reclaimed like health in working out. It stopped being about this like ambiguous force, and it like it's yours now. You want to work out for X. Yeah. What that is reclaiming, reclamation. Cool. How y'all feeling? What do y'all think? Give me an authentic one too. Just like, how does it feel? For the context for chat and YouTube, after the session ended, that was when people expressed they were dissatisfied, and then I said, "This is like that's what I want in the checkouts," and then like yeah, there was the fair concern of like yeah, but time. So like regardless of time, yeah, just yeah, how do you feel?
Okay, I can start. Um, I feel overall in general that the session was very chill and exploratory. Like we explored a lot, and that was nice. It's like felt like a great way to go into the dynamics of the last session, and that did help a lot for me regarding emotions attached to it. Um, at the end of this session, I am feeling a little bit it's because I'm not sure if I should say it, but I'm feeling a little bit sad for Anne for not um having like it didn't resonate with her for my story, but there's nothing like and I'm afraid of judging, like she feels judged. So I hope not. Okay, great. Um so yeah, I was just feeling a little sad for the end of the session, but I'm seeing Anne and she's like she's not feeling judged, so that's great. And it also makes me curious how it was for Anne. But I'm also aware of time and not extending it too long. But overall, I think it was nice and open, and it seemed like people were not holding back. So I appreciate that. And please tell me if I'm wrong. Yes, sending it to the next one. Who wants to share?
Do you want to go on, or should I?
You pick.
Okay, you can go.
Okay. struggling to find my feelings. I don't think I have access to a lot of feelings today. I had an anxiety attack yesterday, which I don't think happened before, and I was confused. I'm like, oh, this checks a lot of boxes that I know, because I forgot my electric toothbrush in Singapore, and I was freaking out. It was not a big deal after all. I thought it was very expensive, but it wasn't. I don't know why I'm mentioning that. So that was the last time I felt a lot of emotions, and until today, it's just nothing. And yeah, I didn't feel judged. I didn't relate because I could see when as you were sharing your story, like how that makes sense. I think I just had a different experience, so I experienced something different. I didn't reclaim anything that turns out to be good for me. It's been more consistently that I rebel against what I'm told to do. So I just don't do it, and then I find out that I'm doing okay with the consequences. So I'll just stick with that. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.
I feel conflicted because today I'm really exhausted, so in a way, actually, I'll start with the other one. So I feel like for me this was pretty similar to last week in the sense that it feels like we were kind of just sharing. It felt more surface level than some of the weeks we had before, and that feels okay. Today I feel kind of relieved that it was that because of how tired I feel. So I think like if I had to force myself to empathize, and like that would have been really difficult. And I think ultimately it would have paid off at the end, so I'd be glad it happened, but it just feels overwhelming to think about. So in some part of me is kind of glad that we had an easy session. I'm also worried that there's something else going on there because we've now had 2 of these in a row, and it's like I don't think they're bad, but I enjoy the ones where we go deep a lot more. And I'm worried if there's something where like we've just shifted into a kind of safer territory for some reason. And I think for me it's not necessarily about it being productive, but I just really enjoy the connection I feel when we do go deeper. Yeah, so 2 ways. Part of me is kind of glad we didn't do it today because of how tired I feel, and I'm just gonna nap now as well. And part of me is like, oh, I hope this doesn't become the norm, or I'm kind of wondering, like, is there something that shifted where, I don't know what exactly. Like, maybe things feel less safe all of a sudden, or maybe it's like hard work to do the deep dive, so we kind of need a break, or yeah, I kind of wonder what's going on, if anything.
Cool. I will say last week, Pam was sick and Anne was packing, and this week, Tom is sick and Anne is sick. So these kind of things, it doesn't surprise me if it's harder to go deep, but there could be something else. I don't know, but yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense as well. And yeah, I want to share, like, for me, I'm just, how to say, like, for me, it's still helpful because I'm also learning how you guys are when you're not at your peak. Like, what I've gathered from me, for myself, for example, for last time, is that when I'm tired, my emotions disappear as well. So, like, it's also part of getting to know each other as a group where we are on different energizing levels. But I'm also acknowledging that if we keep being tired and sick, then it will keep on being surface level. And then we should try to take more care of ourselves to have the energy.
Yeah, be like Anne, take more vitamins. That's what you need to do. Let me think. Yeah, I thought it was overall, it was a good session. The first 30 minutes, I felt kind of disoriented a bit. And then after Pam and Tom kind of started having a conversation, I realized it gave me some more space to be empathic. So that was useful. Yeah, overall, I think it was a good session, and I felt like the emotions that needed to be talked about were talked about. Well, I guess that's it, chat. Peace out and whatnot. Don't steal my things. Those are mine.
That's
Those are
mine.
mine, Ed.
That's mine.
All right. Later, fam. You want me to stop streaming too?
Thank you for watching. Again, if you'd like to join a support group similar to this, you can join us through our website, questoflife.org. And if you'd like to support us with our mission, please consider donating and or volunteering. You can also do that via our website so that we can run more free groups for more people. Thanks.